players, bonjour from Paris, my name is Asaf Hirsch and welcome to my channel Easy Board Games. Today I'm going to do a short review for the game Revive. This is a 1 to 4 player game by these creators. I have no idea how to pronounce their names, so I'm going to let you deal with that problem. So Revive is an exploration game with resource management, deck building, tableau building, and engine building. Did I say building? Building. In short, humanity has risen after 5,000 years after living under the surface of the Earth and is now coming back to discover what is left from the frozen planet. Each player is playing a different tribe, so it makes this game a little bit of asymmetrical, but soon enough I'm going to explain how come it's only a little bit. And with this tribe we will populate locations, we will build buildings in desert tiles, we'll recruit followers, and all of this in order to build our engine so we can do more actions and get more bonuses and make our turn more and more effective. This engine is basically being built on your personal tableau and on your tribe board. So in every turn, each player is going to take 1 or 2 out of 5 possible actions, which is what we said before, to explore, build or populate, activate our machine, or play one of the citizen cards into your own personal tableau. We'll get victory points from this, some bonuses, resources, and so on. And once every few turns, we will do something that's called Hibernate, which is pretty much like a reset for your own personal tableau, and then you'll be able to continue and take the regular actions. The game is finished once someone is taking something that's called the last major artifact, and then all the other players are going to take one more turn, and after that we're going to sum up the points and the winner will be declared. I played Revive in all player count, so I did the solo game 2, 3, and 4, and I have to say that I found that really the sweet spot is with 3 players. I do think that with 4 players the game just takes much longer for what it really is, and with 2 players there's almost no player interaction, which leads me to the first issue that I had with the game, that even with a higher player count the interaction between players is not amazing. So even if I'm going to do in my turn something that will disturb the planning that you had on your turn, it's not like now you have to recalculate all your strategy or something like that. You're just going to be like, okay, then I will go a different way. And basically each player on the board is going to take, again, this is pretty much an in general, but each player is going to take some sort of a different route. There is not going to be a whole lot of clutter between players. But with that, on the other hand, everything here is pretty much positive. Could be because of that, because there's not a lot of player interaction, because my actions cannot affect tremendously on your actions. So basically on your turn you'll just get more resources, and every action, you cannot do an action without it bringing something great to your tableau, either victory points or more resources or more cards. And it feels like after 5,000 years of living underneath the surface of the Earth, everything is just like, okay, you just go out and hey, let's explore together what's left from our completely destroyed planet. But it does bring you a lot of positive emotions, and there's not a lot of like, haha, take that, from what we know from other board games that can completely destroy friendships. Games that will be like, did you take Asia from me? But how can it be? We had a deal. Now I have to go and conquer Europe or something like that. And that brings me actually to my next point, which is the theme. Honestly, I don't feel that the theme really exists there. It feels more like the creators just had a bunch of good or cool mechanisms, and they found some sort of story, if we can say it like that, to glue everything together. All in all, I think that to understand like the theme of the game, you just read a few lines behind the box, and maybe another paragraph or 2, not even that, I think like a small paragraph inside the rulebook, and that's pretty much about it. So you don't really feel like you're exploring the tundras, or you're surviving outside, or you're rebuilding what's left from humanity, or repopulating cities. It just feels like I'm flipping one tile after the other, putting some meeples or something like this on the board, and the turn goes on. So for the same matter, if you take another asymmetrical game, which is a Root, just for an example, you see here, just by watching the board and the different animals that you can take with Root, everything really pops out, like the theme is coming out from the table, even with the meeples. When with Revive, all the meeples of all the tribes are exactly the same, just a different color, of course. But that's pretty much about it. So the theme in Revive is not really there, and I'm a freak of post-apocalyptic, whatever, humanity is out to destruct itself kind of themes. On the other hand, not all games are supposed to be super heavy and complex, even thematically wise. Some games are out there just to make you feel good. Some games just have some good mechanisms that you can combine together and pass a nice evening with a bunch of your friends. It's like movies, I'm guessing, because not every movie has to be Requiem for a Dream or Citizen Kane. Some movies are just like, I don't know, as good as it gets. It's a feel-good movie that helps you pass your evening. So I guess it all depends on how much of the ticket to the movies cost you, or in our case, how much of the game cost. So just before that, let's talk a little bit about the components, which are okay, nothing to brag about, nothing that is wow. When the game is on the table, it's not super beautiful or super nothing. It's just like, okay, another board game. It's huge for what it is, but it's just another board game on the table. If we're talking about the meeples of the population or the buildings, again, there is just no theme over here. When you build other buildings in other games, you feel like, okay, I've put the windmill over here. I've put the hunting cabin over here, or whatever. It can be really whatever it is. But again, there's not a lot of theme coming out from the game, and it also shows in the components. Even the cardboards, most of them are not really straight on the table, so they kind of move. The tribe that is supposed to beautifully connect to the personal tableau, to the personal machine, it doesn't really hold it together, okay? You just put it and then someone accidentally moves something and it's all over the place. I didn't find it too much comfortable at all. If we compare it to Root, which is also a highly asymmetrical game, of course, but again, very simple, like the meeples are relatively simple. It's not like we have some miniatures or something like, it's not a Awakened Realm, a kind of game, but just simple meeples. But everything, the theme, the forest, like, okay, I'm playing in a forest and I'm supposed to have this territory, and you're playing the birds and I'm playing the squirrels, or I a little bit forgot what's going on there, foxes, but you understand the picture. So the theme is like the components staying on the low side of this scale. So of course, not game is supposed to be super beautiful and have you like grabbing your head or your hair, but not in my case, and saying like, oh my god, I need to have this game at home. But then it brings me back to the price tag of this game. So I personally bought it on BGG for 90 euros. I think that today there are not a lot of offers, but it's on average of 85 euros. And this is quite the price tag, again, for what we have here on the table. For 90 euros, pretty much we can get a second-hand Vital Lacerda game, or a lot of other games that I can think about, like with the beautiful components and with theme coming out and more complex, that you need to work on it to understand it and to be a professional on it. And I really don't think that there is a way for us to become, some games are like easy to learn, hard to master. Revive is definitely easy to learn. If it's hard to master, I'm not really sure that there is a way you can master this game, because a lot of it depends on the luck that you have with the tiles, or where did you go, or a little bit what other players did. It's not like from time to time you can like say, this time I'm going to completely change my strategy and go over there. It really depends on the tiles and what happened over there. And again, the options in this game are pretty much limited. But after all, Revive is a game that maybe you should check out. If I need to put it on the scale, I would say it's entry level to more complex games, okay? It's just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg, if you will. Will I keep Revive in my collection? Probably not, but I don't regret for one moment buying it. It brought me a lot of hours of fun playing either the solo mode or with friends. Usually the group of friends that I'm playing with are, let's say, beginners, not that I'm a professional or something like that, but it's a game that to bring to the table and just explain the rules is something that is super easy, and people get it pretty fast. Is this game speaking to you? That's pretty nice, because I have the video just for you where I'm explaining the rules and how to play, and another video that I have a 2-player game with Mr. Shwet, of course. This is an explanatory playthrough tutorial, so I'm just going to do a few moves explaining all the possible options that you have in this game. And that's pretty much about it. If you saw something new, if you saw something that you like, please subscribe. It's a free way to support this channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with a friend maybe. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.